purchase some graphene powder, cut the wheel on the laser.
Down by the shore,
I would be the baddest motherfucker.
Pirates in the port of paradise.
The baddest motherfucker alive. Who is
Ruined mariners marinated, swinging one north with their heads and fingers sore.
Every time.
Viscera and gore in paradise.
Because I've been trying to figure out, like, my posture has not been great recently.
What they may,
and I think I should spend more time sitting at my desk, and it's definitely, I need to, like,
please not a word more. It's the pirates of paradise.
My desk is like a functional 3D printed platform yet, but it's that I have, and I think it's made me less inclined to sit here. But this is the best place for me to sit for long periods of time from like a postural perspective. I've also been trying to, like, I don't know.
Now recording.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just that. Pirates of Paradise. God damn.
Yeah. John,
we sit on murky waters.
We really do.
I was thinking about an email I sent in the context of the storming of the Capitol, because I wrote a poem to the speech teacher, the coordinator of the speech program at Penn State, and I was like, ooh, something about Capitoline palaces. Fuck. I was referencing the Roman Empire, but I guess that's what happens when you have an Enlightenment governance style that is an homage, throwback to the Roman Empire.
Yeah, or I guess to a hypothetical heyday of democracy.
Yeah.
I've never thought about
minus the free bread.
That's true. Minus the free bread. I was just thinking about how the Dark Ages were like primarily fictitious, in that like there wasn't that huge a technological or cultural like backslide, and I guess democracy, like true democracy, is rare as far as human civilizations go, present, past, otherwise. And that's mostly like when I say otherwise implying the future is mostly because I imagine democracy becomes more and more difficult the more people that you have in your community, which we have seen a dumpster fire represented democracy going on here. But I guess, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what my point there is. John, do you want to lay that poem on us, or have we read it in the podcast before?
Oh, it was like I don't even know if I would call it a poem. I'd call it mental illness, more or less. It's more like I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to you right now. There's nothing. We have nothing to talk about. We have nothing to. What do you want to talk about? Old shit, like.
So, fuck. I guess. Who was the? You know what? I might do a quick Google them, because, or well, you might be able to tell me this, but the single casualty, which is
we don't all know each other.
Wait, say that one more time.
We don't all know each other.
but the single casualty, my understanding was like a human woman.
There were a couple casualties.
Her. Yeah,
I think there was a cop that was bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher. And then there's like I think 5 or 6 people who are dead or dying, and nobody could give less of a shit right now because everybody's dead and dying.
No, that's true. Hear me out. If you storm the Capitol and you're dead and dying, from the deepest and most empathetic of my pirate heart, I don't give a fuck.
Listen,
storm the Capitol better next time.
I'm weird on when I hear statistical arguments, but here's the thing. You might have a higher death rate for that day, for that event, but every day, 3,000 cases, whatever place you're at.
Fuck. I looked it up, 2 days ago? 3,541 deaths, 2 days ago. And that's also, the cases were at 356,004 2 days ago. And listeners, if you don't know, listeners, half of those cases occurred in like the past 2 months.
Oh.
It's like half of it.
Yeah.
The curve is not flat.
It might be flat on the exponential. Woo woo.
Yeah. Okay.
Flat vertically.
Yes, it
But
might be.
oh yeah. It's really hard to give it. I was listening to one of the like I guess it's like a reprise pod of like some of the old Rogan guests. But he had like the dude who did like the Marine Land stuff on, and it was the funniest thing Joe Rogan's ever made for me.
Wait.
Because this dude's
Repeat.
like talking about like Smooshy the walrus, and
Oh, right.
I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I realized today I whatever. Like I appreciate a good cause for animal rights. Contextually, it's the most funny thing I've ever heard. Like it was.
What I haven't seen.
It's like,
What
wow,
was
this dude's really gives a shit about Smooshy. I guess these are Canadian problems. It's like,
I remember seeing the clip, but I don't know. I forget what cat's name was. Do you
oh
remember like the broad strokes of what like I guess the Marine Land issue was?
yeah. Just everything with like dolphins and orcas and shit in captivity.
They're just
Like you
beating
just
them.
have to give them ketam. Like you're kidnapping like the largest sea mammal. Like they got the white whale. They got the white whale. Now they have to just give it ketamine because it scrapes itself on the bottom of the cement pool. Uh,
Fair. Well, dolphins like drugs. Well,
Oh,
so
yeah.
if we have any dolphin listeners out there, exactly. I don't mean to stereotype and imply that all intelligent marine mammals are drug addicts, but I'm just saying that if I could talk to a dolphin and I was like, "Yo, bro, I got some tremendous underwater reefer," I feel like that dolphin would be tempted. They chew on pufferfish. You're telling me, like, have you ever chewed on a pufferfish? I never have. But I feel like there are better ways to become inebriated.
Do you think that like just the dolphins that chew on pufferfish are just like my heroin uncle, like that one? Like they're just like, oh, I don't know, just what's a couple needles?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh man, that's actually something we should have talked about on the podcast. I just remembered something. But
We can do it
I'm on the
now.
Wikipedia. No, I'm on the Wikipedia article for or well no, I just found out that someone I know is like a recovering heroin addict. And they've
Hmm,
been clean for like a long time. And I
that's
was
good.
like,
Good for
that's
them.
badass. No,
Yeah.
it's super.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no.
super good if you can get over it. It's super good
Oh,
because
exactly.
it gives you
Exactly.
so much clout. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I've
It's
never
some of
yeah,
the
just
nicest
'cause
people I've met are that, but
fair. And addiction's like heavy duty. I've never like
mhm.
I was thinking about that and I was like, man, I've never had to like I was I had a long conversation with my shrink the other day. But before we began, I talked about how I spent. I bought like 2 pizzas yesterday. I bought like 2 pizzas because I was taking a post vulnerability nap because I was like I like wept because I was like I guess I'm saying this entire sentence and then I wept and I was exhausted. And I took a nap and I woke up and I was like, fuck it, I'm purchasing pizza. And I came back, I ate that pizza, and I was thinking about how wow, my life is really easy. Or not. I won't say that my life is really easy, but I've let like if we were talking about human experience lotteries, I've won like 4 of them. I've won like at least 4 human experience lotteries. Um, so that being said, good job on my unnamed co-person for being badass. Anyway, the this is a pretty heavy duty. This is a long ass Wikipedia article for an event that happened 3 days ago. 3 days ago? What day is it? The 9th? 3 days ago. But I'm looking for casualties. Participating groups, Save American March, criticism of Capitol Police, criticism of meat casualties. There we are. All right. 15 officers were hospitalized, more than 50 injured. Members of the mob hit Capitol Police and officers in the head with lead pipes and other weapons, some disguised as flagpoles. 5 people died during or shortly after the event, including 1 police officer.
Disguised as
Uh,
flagpoles, I feel like a flagpole's like a
is
pretty
a
decent weapon
yeah,
as
yeah.
is.
I
It might have just been a legit flagpole and not a flagpole made in China. Like one of those hollow ass metal aggregate plastic coated polymer like tubes.
So I have a stainless steel rod right here. This is, John. Imagine you were the police officers.
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, I think the flagpole is supposed to just be a spear.
Yeah, that's
Like,
all it is. It's got the tassel at the end as the flag already.
it has like eagle and the
Yeah.
ball, all those things. All those things are
No, that's true.
good flagpole toppers. But
Oh yeah, no. I didn't know that some of these people must have been proficient in redneck wushu. I didn't know that was I didn't know. I figured the
Oh,
xenophobia would have prevented any of them from training in temples.
at least 15 to 50 of them saw Free Solo, because when they were scaling that wall, I was laughing my ass off. It's like, oh, you get chalk for that grip. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh my gosh. But so Capitol Police Officer Brian D. Sicknick. Rest in peace, Brian D. Sicknick. You know, you were a police officer, and that's not a job that should exist. But you're also a human dude, presumably with other human dudes who care about you. And I'm sorry that you don't exist anymore. At least that you were killed by stupid people doing. When I say stupid, I'm not talking about the IQ of the people who raided the Capitol, but they didn't do it for any good reason. There's a very timely meme that I will pull up if I can find it. But oof, the reason to storm the Capitol as a lower middle class white dude is because you've been ass fucked by the rich your entire life. It's not to keep the rich man who says he cares about you in power. It's just not. It just doesn't check out. It's not good luck. Anyway, he's a 15-year veteran of the force and a former National Guardsman. He was fatally injured. The specific cause was not initially released. Though law enforcement officials told the New York Times that he had been struck in the head with a fire extinguisher. And so other people say that he sustained a stroke after that. He died in the hospital the next day. During the riot, Ashley Elizabeth Babbitt, a 35-year-old rioter from San Diego, died from a gunshot wound to the neck. Babbitt and more than a dozen rioters were attempting to break through the barricaded doors into the speaker's lobby leading into the House chamber. Shortly before 3 p.m., Babbitt, who was wearing a Trump flag, climbed through a smashed portion of the door just yards away from members of Congress and was shot by a Capitol police officer. The incident was recorded on several cameras. A law enforcement official told the Washington Post that police believed she was unarmed, but the officer who fired the fatal shot did not know that at the time, and officers who were aware that many of the intruders were carrying concealed weapons. Yeah, so...
Wait a minute. So I was thinking, just wrapped herself in a Trump flag, or was wearing a Trump flag. So literally, like, every platform he's on right now he's gone. And some of the ones that his supporters were on, gone. But could Trump make an OnlyFans?
Fuck yeah, Donald Trump could make an OnlyFans. He really could. Here's my question. How many Trump supporters are within the category of people willing to pay their sex workers? And I think that's the real kicker.
You might have to start it off with a free
Trump
trial.
is good, but porn is free. I think this is a dilemma, especially if you're not all that complex a dude. But man. Okay, so
well, actually, I was gonna say, because I think even Pornhub just purged like most of their amateur content, just doing some, common sense regulation. Yeah, just for some common sense regulation. That was a couple weeks back, but any and all of these platforms, it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious.
It really would.
Yeah.
And honestly, my thing is, we are definitely.
It would at least be, I think, maybe a de-radicalizing force if you had like a bunch of like Trump dudes trying to explain to their Trump wives that like, oh no, I care about family values. It's just that he's on there, okay? Like we gotta go. He got the platform is the only one left.
It would force a nuanced conversation about what freedom of speech really means, and because that is like a serious conversation. And in fact, I don't know how I feel about banning people from communication platforms. Of course,
think it's not going to help. I think it's not
Yeah.
going to help. But
It definitely won't help.
It's also just that it's not consistent because it's like, oh, okay, but you're still going to keep all the people who like drone strike civilians on there. Okay, cool.
Oh, exactly. And so
5 people
from
again. That's not
from the
much.
perspective that like if Twitter is Club Penguin, right, then it totally makes sense that you could ban people for doing whatever, right? Like you guidelines that are nebulous, and also it's a game, it doesn't matter. But if Twitter is like a communal bulletin board, which it seems to function as, at least, like how many people get their emerging news from Twitter? I suppose I don't know
And
how many
like
people.
he
A
is
lot.
still the president unless or until he's impeached in the next 2 weeks.
This is
Or
true.
he's, when he's
Or-
inevitably replaced in 2 weeks. But
When is the inauguration? The 20th?
yeah, something along those lines. But I'm like,
Okay, so
ooh,
yeah,
it doesn't seem
yeah.
like the move.
It's weird, and it's the weirder.
And also, like, I don't like, because, like, they're probably not going to have anybody there other than, like, one, because of COVID, and they're trying to, like, do some policy signaling with that. Because I was going to say, it's virtue. No, it's not. It's policy. It's policy. Because they're like, hey, we're trying to establish a consistent standard here. Like, okay,
Yeah.
no people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure. They might have massive
Fair.
hordes of people, and at which point, I don't know, fucking storm it again. But,
No, someone do it better.
Hey, everybody, all the angry mobs unite into an angry cesspool.
Excuse me. NSA, really quick. This is just an aside for all our unlisted listeners. If you go in our episodes, you see they only have one view. There's actually an order of magnitude more views hidden below the view line. You can't see them, but we are not advising any individuals who listen to the Pirates of Paradise to be violent toward their fellow humans. Make sure that you obey your social contract like a
why they're not
motherfucker.
human.
But also, if you're gonna storm a government building, please at least cover your face, dog. Cover your face.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah, just don't be, and do it for a reason that makes sense.
And make sure there aren't CEOs in your ranks. Maybe.
Really ensure that there aren't. And also,
make sure that everybody begging for their crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
not crumbs in their pockets.
For me, the biggest takeaway from, I guess, the biggest takeaway from this event, and we've said this we've said this off the air before, is that like a segment of the population has proved that they could storm Capitol buildings and not be mass murder, and because I expected mass murder, really, when I was like, oh shit, they stormed the Capitol. How many bodies are there now? They got to be lining them up with the White House lawn. They have to be.
What I feel like they did, at least like the Capitol Police or whatever, recognized like, oh, we can't just gun down all these people because then there would be more of them.
Wait, hold on, John. Definitely we can't shoot all those people because there would be more of them. I just read that one of the other casualties was an accidental electrocution.
I saw that there were like 5. I saw that there were like 3 to 4 just like heart attacks.
Greason died. Okay. Kevin Greason, from Athens, Alabama, age 55, rest in peace. But also, Rose died of a heart attack related to an accidental electrocution. How did you electrocute yourself storming the White House? Is it because you have a disability, a cognitive one that is unaddressed until just now? I think that might be the case. Fuck, I just don't even understand. I'm sorry. I'm sick. Oh man, I'm sorry. It's just that's so funny. How do you get electrocuted accidentally while you're storming the White House? Was he like, I bet there's a secret.
Everybody storming the Capitol looked like they were like immunocompromised.
Exactly. They look like I wish I could have been there and be like, no. Why? This is an electrical outlet. There's no. Why would they leave a key in there? Would you do that?
Yeah, like Benny Franks. You just stick a kite line in there. You're like,
exactly. That's not how this works, dude.
Somebody fly this kite for me.
It's like tie the string to my finger and I stick the key in the outlet and I tie it and then
If I use the Trump flag, wrap it around my pole, throw it through
Middle
the air
election.
at a certain velocity. Will the wind
gotta-
catch it, fly it high into the sky? And at what
John,
point does the lightning strike it? Travel
is the
down the
exact-
wire. Once this flag hits 88 miles an hour, we're going back to 1945.
John, this is the exact scenario. I'm only Kevin Greason. You are Ben Phillips, age 50, who presumably also died of a heart attack. Ben, you know what I'm thinking, Ben? If I find that secret White House shelf of chemicals, and I'm wearing the Trump flag at the same time, and I get electrocuted, I'll get Trump powers, and I'll be the president of the United States, Ben.
They broke
You'll never be
into
able
like
to.
a
Ben, I'll
janitor
have this.
closet because they
I'll
thought that it was like
overturn any election I want. Any election I want, Ben.
they like broke into the janitor closet thinking that they were rescuing children from an international pedophile ring, but no. That was just soap. That was just soap. They're like, I'm sure. I mean, I think the Cardi B lyric had some grab a bucket and a mop. What is that like? The activation lever is a whole wall gonna spin around like a horror movie?
Exactly. I think he was looking for one of those. I think he was looking for some secret shit. He was looking for the Shakespeare bust that you press the button and it reveals the poles where you slide down to the Trump cave. And I don't think also sliding down to the Trump cave is a euphemism for the worst rim job you'll ever give or receive.
That's one where you don't wash. I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch the Trump cave. But also so many people resigned. Really, a lot of people, I guess, resigned. Let me see. Matthew.
That's the most relatable thing out of all of this. Is just like seeing a mob and going, "Oh, fuck this shit. I have a car."
So the deputy national security advisor, the chief of staff of the first lady, the White House deputy press secretary, the White House social secretary, they all resigned. They all resigned on the Secretary of Education as well. They all resigned on the day of the protest. Then the Secretary of Transportation resigned she's set to resign on the 11th. And she was also followed by the education secretary. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know what this says about the future of the United States. I really don't know. In that, when I'm trying to think about what happened, it's like no real political statement was made. Like no serious political work was done, I guess.
No addition to the conversation, really.
Exactly. No addition to the conversation. That's a good way to put it.
We're all angry. We're all broke.
Yeah. But we don't understand how we don't know how to connect those two things.
I think it's very reasonable to say there's a lot of like gatekeeping and shit in politics. So I would not put it on most people to say like, oh no. Of course you don't understand how this works because you need like a Harvard law degree specifically, and all of the networking connections that come with it to know how to like change a tire on the cars of like democracy.
Exactly. No, that's true. That's true. The way our system is mad convoluted. And for, I guess, a country that claims that its citizens are participants in government, the threshold for what level of
I am interested.
That's not my disposable vape. I'm sorry, but the level of what threshold of like education, like political education, equals ability to meaningfully change the political system is sort of, I don't know, unspecified.
Object lesson.
Yeah.
Any former Trump followers treat him like a disposable vape. He's all out of hits. Wicks burnt.
Well, I was gonna say, I guess, dog, it's sort of your responsibility to try and enlighten the people closest to you via this sort of like prolonged, merciful challenging of ideas that allows people to not believe horrible things anymore. But also, you got to make a real cost benefit analysis. You got to figure out how much you have. If you're like, I only have enough mercy to keep me from killing myself, definitely you're gonna want to treat. You're
There are going to
definitely
be
disobeying
Goodwills all over the country filling up with that merch, I think.
rules.
Just like, oh my God, yeah, imagine your wife just left you because you got into a fight during COVID. She's like, oh, how can you still support the president? And then you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. What am I just gonna sit around for the next 35 to 40 years of my life? Oh no no no. Oh no no
Yeah,
no.
yeah. And
Sounds like it might
so,
be time to dump on to dump all these flags and shirts and hats at my local Goodwill depository.
it must be. It
That
really
said, the soon to be homeless mobs roving the country. Oh, we don't. Do we really want them checked out? Trump merch. I say no to fast fashion.
Oh, I heard a theory. I was talking to Nate the other day because I'm not a news watcher. Listeners, I live under a rock. You know what I've been thinking about really hard on YouTube the other day? I saw a cat who built a type of actuator that I was going to build because I had just read about it in papers, and this dude. Oh, anyway. It's just his production value is real low too. Whatever. I'm thinking about dissolving ethanol, about trying to make ethanol pockets within a two-part silicone block so I can. Anyway, I found out from Nate the other day that apparently in a press conference, in a press conference, Trump dissed Pence because in a previous press conference, Pence said something relatively pro-American people. Do you have you heard of these things?
Yeah, I think the speculation, because yeah, what I heard is that like he was just trying to like, I don't even know necessarily, but it was just like basically everybody knew that this shit was about to happen, and he was like, oh
Yeah.
well, who are we gonna put this on? Um, yeah, it is weird though, right? Because like if you impeach Trump right now, Pence is probably going to be the Republican frontrunner in 2024.
Yeah.
Because like that's what most of this shit's about right now. Like if you impeach Trump, I don't think he can run again. Like impeach and remove.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
no, surely.
yeah, yeah.
I heard a theory from an individual that remained unnamed until we were off the air. But this person said, I think that what's going to happen is that it's all a big ass kayfabe. And as soon as Pence is sworn in, he's going to use his last days as president to presidentially pardon Trump.
That's possible. But the thing is,
Yeah.
you can't. I don't know if you can be pardoned if you're not accused of a crime yet. And Biden has already basically said if you sit down and shut the fuck up, we won't press any criminal charges.
Fair.
Which is
Yeah.
the model for like mafia. That's like do
Yeah.
your fucking time, don't rat. Like
Yeah. No, just
we're
like,
all drone striking Syrians. We're all drone striking Syrians.
it's
Sit
like,
down.
hey, dude, we don't want them to find out that we've been killing families for 45 presidents. We've been, no, and I thought about that and I was like, oh shit, that's sort of gnarly. But I also thought about it and I was like, I don't really give a goddamn if President Trump gets away with the crimes that he has committed because he's already done it on the world stage. He was like, heck, I'm using the office of president for personal and financial gain. And then everyone was like, no, or okay. And then it happened, regardless of how any of us felt. And
Exactly.
it's almost done. And whether or not he like gets away with it, like whether or not
The thing is,
like an almost
he
80-year-old
he
man spends the rest of his life in jail bothers me not. I really
he
shivens about
he
that.
will either like I think he like I mean to be fair, every president uses the office for personal financial gain. Most of them
Yeah.
just have the respect to make the financial boost after they get out of office. And
Yeah. Or
also
at
just
least
to do like
just
the
keep it under
like
the just
to do like the sugar baby trick where they're like, "Oh no, no, no. I'm not taking money from these people. I'm just giving them speeches as their president. I'm just giving them speeches. I have a high speaking value. I have a speech class on my Harvard degree. That's why my speech is worth $900,000."
that's so funny. And I didn't write myself, but I'm only reading. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, and I will say, I think that there is a problem if you try to impeach him because that they already did that. They already did
Mhm.
that and
Yeah.
didn't was unsuccessful because the grounds on which they were doing it were kind of eh. Like if they had done
Yeah.
emoluments, right? Like, oh, he's profiting through the Saudis off of his hotels while president, never divested himself from any of his businesses. That'd be like a real major thing. Like you'd be like, yeah, 100%, he's
What do
doing
you
that,
think?
and that's illegal.
Oh man,
But
do you think the reason that they wouldn't go that route is due to the, I guess
oh yeah, so
the com-
I was
the
gonna say
fact
if
that
you
Saudi
do it
Arabia
again,
is single-handedly supporting our dollar?
absolutely buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy
Buy
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin. Hold on, real quick. Let's.
$42,000.
Oh. It's down, but it's still up. Anyway,
I put in
listeners, you should probably
48
buy
cents
Bitcoin.
of basic attention token. It is now 50 cents.
Dude, I love Brave ads.
They look super nice. The cyberpunk future is desirable.
It really is. It really is. Or at least, I don't know. I would like, any way to do cyberpunk that doesn't look like, I don't know, any like, I feel like cyberpunk sometimes gets like very, there's a blurry area between cyberpunk, cyberpunk, and then a biohazard chic. And I feel like the two former are acceptable. Biohazard cheek it seems like it just gives you a shorter lifespan in MRSA.
Biohazard Chic, I think, is like ASAP Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah. But man, ASAP Rocky, someone once said that I looked like ASAP Rocky, but I think only from like this level up.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think you have more density of like flesh and bone, probably in your torso, like as an equivalence to his entire body weight. I think he's like 160.
That's true. He is a light man. He does not look like a heavy man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also has like much longer nose than I do, and his face is like, I think his face is more like rectangle shape. I think I have more of like a diamond shaped face. I don't know. Anyway, the moral of the story is, I guess everyone. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I just saw. I saw something strange. But well, I won't say the moral of the story like we're gonna wrap. But I guess the moral of the story in relation to like the White House storming is like, stay safe, stay leery. If you are a person and you're like, man, my life isn't all that together. If I were to pull an Uncle Joeyism, you're gonna want to buy a journal, start writing in it, because 2021's a big year for all the humans living. So, yeah, definitely get it together.
I'm trying to think what this journal entry would look like right now.
Well, first it would begin, dog. Oh, okay. If you aren't subscribed to, I know this isn't hyping our podcast. We don't have a Patreon because we don't do. This is all the content that we have right now. We've tried to produce more content. It requires more effort.
It's because we want this content to be free and accessible to the people.
Yep. Forget what I said. We actually have several feature-length documentaries and several, like,
because you can't afford this podcast. You can't afford our content. You can't afford what we're putting out.
No, the version of
Nobody
us
can
was
buy
like,
it, so we give it away.
Yeah, we have crisp thumbnails and like sponsors, but they're too much. They're too much. But
I only work with sponsors I like. I don't like any of them.
We're very confrontational. Better help hurt my feelings.
Better help
HelloFresh
can
called
go
me
to
fat.
better hell.
Oh my gosh. HelloFresh more like hell out my kitchen. Anyway.
Hello Fresh. Hello, fetch me a gun so I can storm the Capitol.
Oh my gosh. Oh Christ. Brilliant.com. More like Bill got let into Congress. Anyway, the Uncle Joey's Patreon the other day, he was like, today's Friday, January 8th, the day the devil was shot, hung, and buried at sea. And I love that so much. I don't know why. But the David, I would effectively say that you should be behaving as though the day you wake up is the day the devil was shot, hung, and buried at sea. But yeah, we can come up with our own, we could. We should do our own motivational things. Occasionally I'm like,
That's
man,
fair.
I could be more motivated. That would be tight.
That's indeed fair. Indeed fair.
That would actually that's an off the podcast conversation. That's a future us conversation. That's for the version of us that has a wheel pretty soon. What's
Feng
his
Shui Future Fortune Finders Fund does advise seasteading. Those stocks are going up.
They really, dog. They really are. I'm not. I'm just
Hey.
saying, if you're looking for like a future server farm, private medicine, casino, space launch platform,
If
you
you're
know
a
the
former
podcast.
Trump yacht parade boat boy,
Boat boy.
think about considering
Yeah, dog.
starting a
How big is your
seasteading.
boat, bro? Really, how big is your boat, dog? Let's set up a factory on it. Let's set up a factory. Just a mobile factory. Let's do it.
Let's set up a server farm. Get all your
Let's
boat
really do it.
friends. Let's have a LAN party.
Yeah.
You can
But
share information from the computers you just stole out of various senators' offices.
Oh, oh my god.
Did you see that the
Dude,
person who stole the podium, like the speaker podium, sold it, and then like some Syrian like freedom fighters painted it on a wall.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I saw this it was an Instagram reel, but it was this dude. It was like a Hispanic dude, and he was like, it was like me storming the Capitol to get me and my TO's real social security numbers. Like,
Imagine for a moment that you were like, oh yeah. What if
that is a great reason.
what if one of them was just in there for active allyship and they just got a stack of green cards? And they were just like,
that listeners, I am not opposed. You see, if just even if they were like, yo, fuck the system, fuck the rich, right? If they can make a new flag, and I would be terrified of like separatists who seem to be xenophobes, right? Also, but dog, if you got any green cards from the White House, or I'm sorry, not from the White House, but if you got any green cards from the Capitol building, if you got anybody's social security number, if those are things that can happen, you're a bad motherfucker. And thank you for listening to the Pirates of Paradise.
if you got even one SD card that you can give to your grandmama so that she can take pretty photos of bridges and sunsets.
Oh, dude,
good for you.
I wonder is probably not for criminal reasons, but I was gonna eBay from the Capitol.
Capital merch.
Yeah, I don't know what I would call it. Like Capital
spoils. Capital
Spoils.
Contraband is a good episode title. Go with that.
This is true. Capital Contraband. Write that one down. But yeah, I don't know. Probably no one is posting those for criminals, but I bet there's a big black market for like, yo, bro, I got this from AOC's desk, bro. For both sides, because some people are like, yeah, fuck AOC, and other people are like, man, I can't wait to smell these pens.
I was gonna say, I think everybody's like, fuck AOC, but I would though.
Ooh!
Why isn't she representing me? She's not in your district. What are you fucking talking about?
Just like move, dog, move. It's a stupid reason to move, but go somewhere else. You should have voted. Oh my gosh, I can't. Like, oh man, just some Trump supporter upset because he wants to be represented by a Halle Berry-looking chick, and
yeah, so somebody who's like, somebody who doesn't know how to write, but like, AOC's the type of girl who only starts dating people who write her letters.
Like she needs, like, no, I'm sure AOC needs a sonnet, right? And
that snail trail, snail mail.
Oh, I'm not saying the Trump supporters can't write sonnets, but I am saying that I've never read a sonnet written by a Trump supporter, and that I also have never looked for one.
Listen, you're all in Amish country. Ask them. They were there when writing was invented.
Little fun fact: the Amish developed cuneiform for the first time. People think it was the Sumerians, dog, the Acadians.
They've now entered the Stone Age. Two Amish people were seen fighting with rocks. And,
they've been chewing sticks with which to stab tree-dwelling monkeys. They haven't figured out that you still need the stick after that you'll kill a monkey the next day, but they're at least chewing the sticks.
Everybody stormed the barn after they raised it. They're hay baling on on rural democracy.
Yeah, no, they're like, we miss when a barn wasn't here. We wish there were
Make
two barns.
Michigan.
Fuck this gable roof,
Michigan.
dog. I didn't want gable dormers. I wanted shed dormers. And they're like, you put it up. You put up the entire barn. We watched you do it. And it's like, fuck that. I want gable dormers. Or, they're like, wait, I thought you wanted shed dormers. They're like, I'm upset about the barn. They're like, why did you raise the barn? Why did you raise the barn? You're like, I'm in a barn. Ah! And then that must have been what it was like. Really was.
And then there's just like one like Amish dude with a coat, and he's like, "I have Alexandish tars." Hair clip.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I. Oh, fuck.
But to be fair, nothing's more American than raiding historical shit and stealing it. Like I think like Jefferson or somebody hacked off like a piece of Shakespeare's chair when they visited.
What?
Yeah.
That-
There was like a U.S. president who like went to the Shakespeare house and was like, "Oh, let me get a little piece of this historical artifact. I'm just trying to taste the flavor."
That's kind of baller. That's kind of baller. For like, despite all their slaveholdingness and general 18th century dudeness, I'm kind of a pro, like not a pro founding fathers dude, but it's like, God, like you ever read it? Like, okay, so I won't lie to you, I have seen Hamilton the musical many times.
Mhm.
I do enjoy it. Alexander Hamilton wrote so many fucking essays on. Can you imagine leading troops and then also you're like, man, I really need people to like this idea. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm just gonna write like 51 fucking essays in like 6 months. Something absurd. Like, and very frequently when people are like, "Fuck the founding fathers," I'm like, "Yo, dog, how many essays can you write to defend your own point that don't sound like the same essay 51 times?" Like, have you ever led anyone to battle? Have you ever stormed a building of any kind? And so I am not. I guess I am not praising. I'm not praising the storming or the stealing, but I am praising the human desire to storm and steal, and because, well, storming waters.
Imagine you're about. I'm trying to think what the ideal pirate move is. If you're just coming into the U.S. on a ship, you're in the crow's nest. You got your little skippity scop out.
You really do. Your spyglass. You're fine.
You're just glassing. You're just glassing. you look in, and you see a whole bunch of people fucking storming. Do you go, nah, fuck this shit, we're going to the Jersey Shore? Or do you go, ooh, I want everything and more?
You see, like, so hear me out. If I were standing on the White House lawn, or not, I'm sorry, if I were standing, okay, I don't know where they were in orientation to the Capitol building before they came into the Capitol because I didn't read that thoroughly. But if I were with the mob in front of the Capitol, I'm just saying, if I could cover all the surface of my skin, just sneak in there, grab an item, sold on eBay. I'm just saying, I think AFC spins would go for a lot. And also, I do think that this would have been a good co-piracy endeavor to the extent that they bodied very few people.
Imagine you're just like a Somali pirate lost at sea, and you're like, ooh, what do we see here? This is way better than oil drilling. All these things have vastly higher historical market value than a barrel of oil. And then you just make it like a houseboat, like or like one of those flatbeds where you move your house cross country.
Yeah.
You just pick up a couple pillars from various Capitol buildings, and you're like, yeah, let's do this.
What did you say was the what's the name of the like the saint who's armed they still have?
I think they have a couple, but I'm not sure.
Oh, but yeah. Like, so I was just thinking about how funny it would be to like, oh hey, what's that over there? And you just snap off like a snake, like
Oh
a
my
saint's pinky
God,
finger or
the
something.
Vatican would buy any and all of the merch that you have, because they're their own state. Like, what are we gonna do? Sanction them?
True.
We have too many Catholics for that. All of the U.S. dollar is still gonna go there eventually. It's gonna trickle up.
Fair enough. Because that is the way the dollars go. They do trickle up.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a
The
I
Pope's
wouldn't
gonna
even
buy
describe
like
it as like
two new pairs of like Jordans. It's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy. It's gonna be
Oh
wow.
yeah, no, exactly. It's going to be.
He just gives like the Easter mass from the
Oh,
podium.
like someone's like, "Hey, what's that? What's
Oh,
going on right there?"
la, 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 la.
No, like and like the news is like zooming into it, so he's like, but they're all focused on the podium. They're like, I think it's the podium from the Oval Office. I think.
To be fair, I don't know if Francis has ever put any
Or that
people
people
in prison and then defied state orders not to. Yeah, use prison workers to fight forest fires and then been like, nah, we need their labor.
Also, listeners, I do keep referring to I keep bungling the Capitol building versus White House dilemma, and that's because I don't care about what their buildings are called. I don't care about it.
Oh yeah. I don't. It's the government poly structure. Uh,
Yeah. It's the only property the man seems to care about. It's the only property safe from eminent domain.
Build a road. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like
Yeah.
build. Yeah, we need a new White House at this point. Like we really need like some like Art Deco or like inverted ziggurat fucking.
Hear me out.
I'm not saying that a great infrastructure project would be to build a pyramid, but what else are we doing with our time right now?
This is true. Apparently, just not shooting trespassers. Just as a taxpayer,
Let's
aren't you
for sure
mad that you
revise
paid
the
for all those
statement.
bullets?
It's when the looting starts, the looting's happening.
Yeah. It's when the looting starts. We love you. Go home. You're very special. And just like I said, as a taxpayer, I just we paid for a lot of those bullets, John. We really did. How many of them? Just
My favorite things to come out of this are like, there's I guess now a proposal for DC statehood, and I'm like, well, yeah. I don't like
and
DC as like a region, just because it's like they have things like legal weed, but
true.
they also have the feds. So
Oh yeah.
like the ones that are like, but not for you, not in your state. We're gonna shoot your dog. Um, and also Puerto Rico first. Puerto Rico first.
Oh yes,
Yeah, give
surely,
them that
surely,
option.
surely Puerto Rico.
They at least seem to have an industry there of value.
This is true. Hold on, I am trying to find. I'm looking for a very specific Suicide Boys lyric.
What song is it from?
Oh, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I'm looking for what's the it's the line that's something looking like a model or no, the model line is after the empty out this clip that's full of fucking hollows. That line. But the moral of the story is that, like, hey, listen to that song, Capitol Police. Think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if I ever storm the Capitol, maybe be just as judicious with your bullets, but
Don't shoot until you see the whites in their eyes. Or the
I'm
whites
gonna wear
and their
sunglasses.
eyes, whatever.
I'm gonna wear sunglasses the entire
Oh
time.
my gosh, yeah, they do all wear wraparound shades.
Yeah. Oh, babe. Do you have anything else you want to cover?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to think about plugs.
Plugs. Avoid them if you're storming any building.
That's true. Really do.
Yeah.
I guess. So, hey, follow the Pirates of Paradise Insta. Do it. Just because, ideally, there you'll see stuff about when this podcast comes out, and also subscribe to this channel that you're watching this podcast on currently. Because the same reason. Hit the notification bell. I'm just kidding. Maybe don't do that. But
Absolutely do that if you want.
Yeah, do it if you're already
Get
there.
notifications about future assemblages.
This is true.
Of
In fact, so hear me out.
Of at least two people.
If you don't like the notifications from another YouTube channel, turn theirs off, turn ours on. They're less frequent.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hell yeah.
All right, Pirates of Paradise. This has been Pirates of Paradise. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Doo-doo.